Hey everybody, welcome back to part 2 deck profile videos. I'm your host Siren Frost, and this deck profile video will be the updated version of Kheios with a new upgrade. Well, not quite as new as it is anymore because it's been around since Set 11 collection, so this is a very long overdue video. Let's just put it that way. And the person we're doing is Oratorio Kheios. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, this is my least favorite Glitter Force kind of deck. Because the deck to me alone is very confusing, but it does remind me of Faded 1 of Ever-Changing Crest Rain's ability. Except the difference is, it requires you to have a certain amount of cards in the soul. This one has, wants you to have a certain amount of cards in the soul to activate certain abilities. And it has to be different names. So, okay, work. Just like Crest Rain's ability is, it doesn't come from the soul, but as long as you have rear guards with different names. So, that's the difference right there. Now, there are some cards in here that may or may not be what people think they should agree of. And allegedly, this is the deck that does defeat Shiranui. So, I'm like thinking, give me one reason why this deck can beat Shiranui in a heartbeat. In your guys' honest opinion, for most of you who are Kheios players, what are your thoughts on this deck alone? I know this might not be a good version for it, and you all have your own different versions, and that's okay. But tell me in the comments about why this deck is that good to beat Shiranui. Because as far as I know, Shiranui is a tough cookie, a tough competitor when it comes to the card fight scene, and a lot of people are like Shiranui fanboys and girls like Luart is. So, you know, just lay it on the table right there with me. I don't care. Just rain on me. But I know this deck, it took me a while to find cards in here that, it was just somewhat hard for me to find, and for me to figure out, like, what's the hell's going on here, pretty much. But I'll let you guys decide on it. So here it goes. So for starters, we'll start using the energy generator for it's like a ticket to like the tournaments. Nowadays you have to have this one along with 10 energies at your disposal. You can also use the little counter too, little energy counter that you get from the start decks as well. It helps you a little bit more easier, probably a little more convenient, because a lot of people don't like using the energy generator cards like some of us do, and that's okay. You know, it happens. But this one is pretty much a ticket to like now in all the tournaments, pretty much. It's a new format. And, okay, so the ride line is, we have one who Profound Mercy Kheios. Let's put this right here, so we show a lot of it right here. And then we also have, in the Calm Streets, Kheios. So, it's very weird. This guy is a very strange kind of dude. He is a demon from the underworld, pretty much. And his main abilities are coming from, like, snakes and cobras and darkness, but he might have started off maybe as good intentions, and eventually it slowly starts turning him into like madness, I believe. But that's just I'm getting a little ahead of myself on that one, but still. And then we also have Quagmire of Solace Kheios for our grade 2s, and we have the main grade 3 for this, or the grade 3 in this deck, and it's definitely a one-of copy because I know in my Thangria video deck, I should have never put so many Thangrias in the deck at all, and maybe find some other support cards to go with it, but it is whatever. So we have the Approaching Fangs Kheios, and this guy is a very evil type of dude, because it does seem like he wants to destroy the world. He wants to, you know, use the decks or the cards for like evil purposes. So there is a myth between like the Regulus pieces and the Cray Cross story of time. I think it's what they're all part of. But I guess, like I said, I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. So, right now he is one of the secondary glitter forces in Dark Saints. So, maybe that's some nice little eyeshadow right there. Glitter Midnight. Sorry, it's makeup ideas from me pretty much. But yes, this is the ride line for the deck. And yes, we're using Yu Kondo's blue and green sleeves. that you get these guys from like the very first set of Overdressed. So there you go. But I think because blue is another statement for Darkseid, in my opinion. And I guess, and again, it's just my opinion. Okay, so for the main deck is, since we are using units with different names, let's go down the list. So we are using the new heal trigger, Joyful Songster you get from the start decks, and it's a harpy, pretty much. So there's that one, and we also have Sensuality, Elixir, Faevronia, and fuck, I'm looking for like 2 more copies of this card because I do love the artwork to death, and I think it'd be awesome in Leo Abdonium, or Astro Unica, or Omnigrizio. So I'm gonna find some online to see if I can order some because that's sick. But there's a downside, you guys. This is a 15k shield, but it doesn't have the shield. It's just a full art right here. So I think Bushro made a big no-no on this one. But I'm like, damn, I can't get over the fucking artwork. I want more of her. Damn it. Okay. Anyways, moving on. 1 copy of Gambling Juggler. And 1 copy of Direful Alexandra for our heal triggers. And yes, this is going to be a little bit weird for me too, because I don't like playing one of each copy because it just feels really weird to me. Because I'm going to feel like, did I lost something? Did I lose a copy? You know, I'm very OCD about that. And it's going to be a pain. So since my screen can actually hold more, I'm going to do it like this here. And we're going to go down the list. For critical wise, we are using 8 criticals. But here is 1 copy of Flinty Sasha. So 1 Flinty. 1 Connect Rampage Clenn. 1 copy of Direful Bethany. 1 copy of... Oh, and 1 copy of Lively Breath Dragon. So that is the first 4 criticals. And this is very weird because I don't like using one-ofs. It's going to freak me out so much. But I know a lot of people want these to be certain ones. And that's okay. But there's one thing that will never change. I'm playing 4 copies of Steam Deviant Dragon just for the extra power for the soul. Effect triggers. I mean, a lot of times people can just find other criticals and just like, boom, stack together. 3 copies of Direful, not Direful. Fuck. Damn dolls. 3 copies of Diabolos Girl Natalia because I do like the front triggers 20k shield value. Okay, maybe that's not a good idea. Right there. And we have 1 copy of Hades Dragon Deity of Resentment Gallmageheld for our choice of overtrigger because before set 6 came out, pretty much Gallmageheld was your only overtrigger to use for any deck. So it makes more sense to just keep it old school a little bit and just play it like that. But yeah, this is a trigger lineup that I've chosen and selected. It is a bit of a mix between Divines and Overdress, just a bit of a mix, and that's okay. That's what Vanguard pretty much is nowadays. You know, it's a bit of a mix. Okay. So that is the thing, and yes, we are using the purple sleeves from Dragon Shields. I know a lot of people don't like Dragon Shields, and that's just an opinion, but I didn't have a problem with them before, so or maybe a lot of people may have a problem with it. I don't know. Anyways, so this is where it's gonna get a little loosey-goosey. We are playing 4 copies of Go Ahead Mikani, and I hardly ever use Mikani, so this is gonna be a lot of mouthful for me. So its first skill is, when this unit is placed on rear guard, you may soul charge 1 card. So it has a Gagnaram skill. Active skill, if you're a Vanguard, if your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, fuck, I'm just tired. Okay. Put this unit into soul, choose up to 1 grade 3 card with Mikani in its card name from your soul and card over a guard. So that calls itself pretty much from the soul. And then with its Kheios partner, because it's the partner of Kheios, Even though it's part Brand Gate, part Dark State, it counts. There you go. Soul. When you would count the number of different card names in your soul for your card's ability, all go ahead Mikani in your soul each count as a different card name. Okay, that is not actually very bad. I mean, a lot of the new Glitter Force cards is not as half bad. I mean, hell, you should see Tamayura. But since I don't have Tamayura's dress form right now, I cannot, or the Broken Toys order card. I know it's got a reprint in the festival collection, and fuck, I failed to get that already, so I'm gonna go find some online, hopefully cheap. But yeah, so yeah, this is pretty much all we're gonna muster at this point. So there we go. And no, I'm just talking way too much. So I'm only using one copy of Misty's Dragon. It's the recent promos for June 2024 from last month. Unfortunately, I couldn't get more of them, so that's the bummer part of it. Otherwise, I would have 3 more copies of this guy and change them out for 3 more. But his ability is an anti-skill, so one's a bind zone, and the other one is a rear guard. If you have a grade 3 Vanguard with Kheios in its card name, bind this unit, search your deck for up to 1 Soul Oratorios Kheios, write it as stand, and shuffle the deck. If your Vanguard was placed during the right phase this turn, or you Persona Ride this turn, you cannot Persona Ride until the end of the turn. Okay? Fair. Bind Zone. If your Vanguard is a grade 3 with Kheios in its card name, put this card into drop and soul charge 1 card. So, only 1 copy of this guy, just because, like I said, I can't get 3 more. And I heard this guy's a pretty penny for right now, because a lot of people are using Kheios decks right now to combat with Shiranui, which I kind of think there should be more of a better way to just rely on one deck. Like, hell, that's why I've always been practicing with my other decks to see what I can find. And so far, I think Chris Rain and Unica can go combat against him. But that's just my opinion. Next, we have 2 copies of Steam Maiden Barney. Oh, I feel so bad for this woman. This is one of the misprint kind of cards, because when this unit is placed on rear guard from hand, if your soul has 8 or more cards with different card names, counterblast 1, to choose, there's the extra C, choose a grade 1 or less card from your soul and call the rear guard. If your soul has 10 or more cards with different card names, choose a grade 4 or less card instead of a grade 1 or less card. Wait a minute. That's really weird. Oh, grade 4 or less. So for right now, this could be in Draw Jewel, or this could be in a Bruce deck, or Chrono Jet Dragon if you want to go that far. But yeah, this is the one with different card names, apparently. So there's 2 of those. We have 1 copy of Dancing Princess Shelcia. So when you play a normal order, you may call this card the rear guard. If you call the card, choose a card from your soul and put it in the drop. So this is where it's going to get a little crazy now. 1 copy of Ling. So then we got 2 copies of Ridicule Disruptor, the new perfect card from the set DC1 collection, and also a promo in the start decks. 1 Repel Malice Dragon, and 1 Recluso Hate Dragon. 2 copies of Song of Excitement Can Be Heard. I think we already did this one already. Play this if you have a Vanguard with Kheios in its card name. Choose one of your Vanguards and it gets 10,000 power in a turn. Choose 3 normal units from your drop, put them into Soul, and put this card in the bottom of your deck. So it does help you refuel your Soul with different numbers and different card names. So that's good. And finally, this is the promo that's been for Kheios, but then it got a reprint. So this is 1 Who Governs Kheios. 3 of them. Playing with Counterblast 1, and if you have a Vanguard with Kheios in its card name, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to the same number of cards from among them as the number of cards in your soul with Kheios in their different card names. put them into Soul, and shuffle the deck. Then, if your Soul has 8 or more cards with different card names, choose up to 1 card from your Soul called to rear guard. Choose one of your rear guards with Mikani in its card name, and it gets 10,000 power until the end of the turn. So, I guess that's the good thing. And this is also very, very hard for me to do, considering the fact that I never did like Kheios from the get-go. I feel like he's just a little bit much. But now, not only do I hate this deck, but I also want to give it a shot as well, and maybe change my mind a little bit. So yeah, that is the grade 1 lineup. Fuck, we're already like 15 minutes already? Shit. Sorry guys, I know I tend to run my mouth a lot. But there's just a lot to cover. Okay, next we have 4 copies of Enticing Corruption Maga Maneth. When this unit is placed on rear guard of your Vanguard with Kheios in its card name, counterblast 1, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card from among them, put into hand, and put into Rest in Soul. Soul ability. When your other unit with Mikani and its card name is placed on rear guard, if your Vanguard is Kheios, discard a card from hand, Soul charge 1, call this unit to rear guard, and this unit can get boost into the turn. Okay. That's where the playset comes in. Okay. Next we have 2 copies of Imity's Dragon. When this unit is put into Soul by the ability during your turn, by a card's ability, if your Vanguard is a Glitter Force, which obviously it is, choose one of your Vanguards and gets 5k power into the turn. My own little twist on it, because it is like technically a Kheios card. Pretty much so. And then we have 2 copies of Amazing Frost. When this unit is placed on rear guard, Soul Blast 1, draw a card, choose a card from your hand, and put it into Soul. Then, if your Soul has 8 or more cards with different card names, this unit gets 5,000 power into the turn. If your Soul has 10 or more cards with different card names, 10,000 instead of 5,000. So, that is what everyone's kind of debating on. This is a good one, so why not? Next, finally, we have 4 copies of Oratorio Kheios. When this unit is placed on by writing from approaching the Fangs Kheios, you may Soul charge 3 cards. Then choose up to 2 cards from your Soul, put 1 from one of them into hand, call the rest to rear guard, and activate Persona Ride. Active skill 1 turn only. If your Soul has 13 or more cards with different card names, bind an approaching Fangs Kheios from Soul, and to the end of turn, all your units get 10,000 power, and this unit gets +1 critical. At the end of the turn, ride that card bound for this cost as rest. So, this is your main go-to guy to get some of the effects, and it does hit hard pretty much. And of course, we also have 4 copies of Cool-Headed Executor Mikani, and this is from the Set 5 collection. So, I think we've already done this already, so there you go. I believe. But yes, that is a great theme lineup, and this is the full updated deck profile video for this week, apparently. I don't know what else to say, other than the fact that it's just another Glitter Force deck that I'm just doing and re-updating. And everybody seems to think this is the deck that can win against Shiranui. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. As always, if you guys like the content I do create on this channel, please subscribe, thumbs up down below, comment down below. Show this channel some love and all that good stuff. Sorry, my mouth is a little dry. Be safe out there, you guys. Make good choices. And see you guys next time in Deck Profile Weekly for next week. I might take a break until I get all the decks, but yes. In the meantime, as always, I've been your host, Siren Frost, signing out.